What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I'm Adam,
I'm Macy.
and we are Macy and Adam Reacts. And it's been a pretty heavy night so far. We just reacted to two songs in a row that were both very heavy, very dark. Um, so you should go check out those videos. We were really surprised by one of them. But for this next video, we're going into something a little different. My all-time favorite band, like head and shoulders above any other band out there, is 80s, late 80s, early 90s progressive band called Savatage. And Savatage has a fan base, but they are nowhere near as well known as some of the other bands out there. I'll give you a little bit of history and factoids about Savatage at the end. But Savatage doesn't exist anymore. They turned into another band that's actually a lot more well known. But I'll talk more about that at the end of this. Savatage had a couple of small hits in the early 90s, but they never had any real major hits, with the exception of the one that ended up causing them to change their name. But their Gutter Ballet album was an amazing album, and it had one of my all-time favorite songs on it, the song that made me a Savatage fan. And that's the song we're going to listen to today. It's called When the Crowds Are Gone. And I pulled up the lyric video. They do actually have a video for this song, but I think the lyrics make it way more impactful. So, we're going to jump right into it. Don't forget that like button, that share button. Ooh, we haven't been talking about the share button. Share it with your friends. Subscribe button, the bell notification, and drop a comment down below. Let us know what other songs you'd like us to react to. Without any further ado, let's turn it over to John and Chris and the guys at Savatage.
I don't know where the years are gone. Memories can only last so long. Like faded photographs, forgotten songs, and the things I never knew. When the skin is thin, the heart shows through. Please believe me, what I tell you is true. Where's the lights? Turn them on again. One more night to believe, and then another note for my requiem. A memory to carry on. The story's over when the crowds are gone.
Alright, so well, first I'd like to say I wish that whoever made this lyric video had put some kind of background imagery into it. Because, like, for people watching us, they're just going to be seeing a black screen with us in the corner and then words. But this is what it is. What do you think of the song so far?
It's very 80s.
Okay, it is. I mean, yeah, it came out in '89, I believe.
And I think it's about the fear of being a husband.
So there is actually a story in this song. So you're actually touching on it. The story is about this musician, this songwriter, who decides he wants to write the perfect song. And he dedicates his entire life to writing this perfect song. And ultimately, he finally finishes the song, and then as soon as he finishes it, he drops dead. So the only time the song is ever played is at as the requiem at his own funeral.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a very deep song, and it's part of a trilogy of songs that they wrote across 3 different albums. We may get more into the trilogy into another video, but this was the first one in the trilogy.
Catch.
Well, in all fairness, it's not far enough in yet for the full story to come out. Sorry, I spoiled it for them too.
All my friends have been crucified, made live a long suicide. True. Guess we never figured out the rules. But I'm still alive, my fingers feel gonna play on till the final reel's through. And read the credits from a different view. Where's the lights? Turn them on again. One more night to believe in that. Another note for my requiem. A memory to carry on. The story's over when the crowds are gone. When the crowds are gone.
All right, sorry to pause it again. I hate pausing it twice in one song, but I know what's about to happen. So, did you notice this time in the chorus he talks about another note from my requiem? That's where he's talking about how the song that he's writing will finally end up being the song played at his funeral, because, and that's what he's talking about when the crowds are gone. He's a musician. Musicians thrive on the crowd. That's what they do it for, is the roar of the crowd. And being in the spotlight. But he's talking about when the crowds are gone and the lights are off and there's nobody there. What's left? And he doesn't want them to turn the light off on him before it's time. Make sense? So we're about to get into the bridge verse. And this bridge verse is the part that really truly made me a fan. I was listening for the very first time I heard this. I had my headphones in, had it cranked all the way up, and when this bridge verse happened, and I heard the raw emotion in John Oliva's voice, he's the lead singer. When I heard the raw emotion in his voice, that's what made me a Savatage fan. I'll try not to pause it again.
ghost, we'll just let them in. 'Cause in the dark, it's easier to see.
And it's a lighter song, but it's
I said it was sad, but it wasn't as heavy. That wasn't heavy.
you know, I would guess that it's about him dying, seeing dying by the bridge verse. Oh, sorry. I mean,
Sorry.
they thought it was about like he used to be rock star. Suddenly, nobody pays attention to him anymore. But yeah,
And that is a big part of it. You know, that's a big part of the song. It's just, um, I knew that the part about him trying to write the perfect song wouldn't come through in the lyrics. That's why I wanted to tell you about that part. Because Paul O'Neill, who did most of the songwriting for Savatage, he would actually write these long, epic poems. And then the lyrics for the songs would be part of those long, epic poems. They released 3 rock operas that were like that. Streets, a rock opera, and then Wake of Magellan and Dead Winter Dead. And they're all amazing albums. 3 of my all-time favorite albums are those 3 I just mentioned. And I've listened to them so many times, especially Wake of Magellan, that at one point I could literally play the entire album in my head without even having to hear it. That's how many times I've listened to that album. So, but overall, what did you think of it?
well, you know, I'm not a fan of English music, but yeah, I like the lyrics. It's sad. It's well written.
We're gonna turn you into a fan of ADHD. What about you? Was this your first time hearing Savatage, hearing this song? I know that there's not a lot of reactions to this song out there, which surprises me. Because I mentioned earlier I would tell you the band that Savatage became. Well, off of that Dead Winter Dead album that I told you about, they had one song that was an instrumental. And it was called Christmas Eve Sarajevo. And it was actually just them performing Carol of the Bells with, heavy metal instruments. And that became a big hit. So big that they decided to release an entire Christmas album of just Christmas music. But instead of releasing it under the name Savatage, before they released it, they changed the name of the band to Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Now, I know you've heard of Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Maybe. Don't remember.
They tour the world every year doing Christmas concerts. And they're huge. And this band, Savatage, is the seed of the band that ultimately became Trans-Siberian
Same
Orchestra.
role?
Most of them. The lead singer and lead guitarist of Savatage on this album, were John and Chris Oliva. John was the singer, Chris was the lead guitarist. They released 2 more albums with Chris Oliva on lead guitars, and then sadly, in 1992, him and his wife and their unborn child were killed in a car accident. John recorded 1 more album with them after Chris's passing. And then he didn't leave the band. He still stuck around to help with songwriting and stuff like that, and he played pianos for them. But he gave up his lead singing duties. And they brought in Zach Taylor to take over, or Zach Stevens. I'm sorry, Zach Taylor was a football player. They brought in Zach Stevens to be the new lead singer of the band. So the rest of the core members of Savatage are in Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but John and Chris obviously isn't. and John isn't. But everyone else from that core group is. But Transport Orchestra actually has three full bands now. When they do their U.S. tour, they have one version that tours the West Coast, one version that tours the East Coast, and a third version that just sits back in their studio and practices so that if someone gets sick or needs a few days off, they can fly them out and replace them. It's crazy. They become a phenomenon. That's a lot of history. So, whenever we eventually do a reaction for Believe, the second song in the trilogy, I'll call back to this song because Believe reuses that bridge verse. And then the third song in the trilogy, which is called Alone You Breathe, that reuses the chorus from Believe. And that's how it became this trilogy of songs. Alone You Breathe is actually the song that John wrote for Chris after the car accident. And it's a very difficult song for me to listen to. But it's a beautiful song. So we'll listen to that eventually. What other songs would you like us to listen to? Let us know in the comments down below. We'll have a link to this video. I'll probably put a link to the actual video from Savatage. No disrespect to whoever made this lyric video, but I want to give credit to the actual band, and their video is pretty cool. So I'll link to the actual video, and I'll put a link to the lyric video too. We used his video, we should, give him credit. We'll have links to all of our socials. Check us out there. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you want us to react to. What else do you want to say to the people? She's got a one-track mind. But I like the track it's on. And as always, until next time, see ya.